All right, ladies and gents, we are live. Welcome back to another watch party. It is later than usual. It is the Nets taking on the Timberwolves. It is, well, the second game back after the All Star break. I'm not too excited. Every game feels like it's a little bit more dread coming on. Um, we are starting the same five that we started the other day. No injuries to account for. We have lost our last two games by a combined total of 78, which is the worst in franchise history. So, of course, that is the 50-point loss against Boston and then the 28-point loss against Toronto. We also gave away the most points in team history coming off the fast break aspect. 46 points we gave away. And Ben Simmons talked about pride post game the other day. God damn, we need to instill a little bit of pride back into our game because ultimately, in the last 8 losses, I do believe, we have lost by an average of 21 points. So there has been no pride. There was a portion in mid-January where we were losing games, but they were close losses. However, as of recently, we just don't even know how to remain in a contest, and we basically go out really sad. So the key is today going to be defense first and foremost, but the offense is going to be built off of that as well. We did give away only 96 points to Minnesota the last time we played them. We lost that game though 96-94, so we were inept at scoring. And then defensively weren't actually that bad. So are we going to see something similar today? I'm not too sure. Look, I just want us to be in the game first and foremost, and then we can worry about the rest later. Against Minnesota, the last time we played them, we had to deal with Gobert and Towns. Gobert is out today, which is a plus. Anthony Edwards went 8 of 23 against us the last time we played him. And Karl Anthony Towns was really the guy that got him over the line. He scored 27 points and had 10 rebounds. He had the 6 turnovers, but he shot the ball 12 of 15 in 37 minutes. So that was really the key for them. And they shot 49% from the field, 47% from 3. But the Nets, the last time we played them, we only had 4 players scoring double figures. Dinwiddie had 14. Claxton had 16, 11 rebounds. 4 dimes, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Bridges had 21, and Cam Thomas off the bench had 25 with 10 free throws all made. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how this team plays, first and foremost. We don't know what Nets team we're going to get today, and it always seems to be this exact case. We always have a problem, always have an issue with remaining consistent within quarters. You start a quarter well, you should be ending the quarter well. And far too often the other day we had a good run. We got it down to like three points or something like that within a possession, of course, and then we just completely capitulated at the back end of the quarter. We just haven't gotten the mix right. I think people have just gone ballistic saying Kevin Ollie is trash. And look, if you give your coach, your interim coach, a one game leeway, you've got a problem. Objectively speaking, you need to just give these blokes time. I can actually commend Kevin Ollie for trying something different, even though it probably was a terrible idea. Ben Simmons cannot be operated long term with Clax on the court because the spacing just was awful, and Ben wasn't the facilitator when he was playing with Clax, which was an even bigger issue. You had Ben sitting in the corner where we know he can't shoot from, and Claxton in the middle. So, Toronto defenders knew, and Minnesota defenders will know to sag off if that is the case again, and if we play Ben in that fashion. He needs to be the primary on-ball facilitator, of course, but Ben's just got to be more aggressive. I mean, how many times do we have to say this every single game? I don't think it's going to switch things around, and I don't know when the shoe's actually going to drop, but if we're to win this game today, there's a number of key things that need to go our way, but a lot of those are in our control. We need to actually have a bit of pride about our game. We went out sad in the final quarter against Toronto. It could have gone two ways. We could have actually gotten back into the contest. The game was not over at three-quarter time. We were down 11, and we had evened things up in the third quarter. That should have been it should have been far, far better than what we dished up. 39 points conceded. The offense struggled. So, look, Ben's got to be the guy who sets the tone, man. It all stems off him. Aggression. You saw the amount of times Toronto in transition, were able to get it into the paint. The problem is Ben just pulls up at the free throw line and completely kills the offense. So we need Ben to really set the tone here. It's just like every single game, it's going to be the same thing that I constantly go on about. But it has to be today. I mean, it probably won't be, but it has to be today. I'm trying to think of other things that may happen or may present itself. Gobert being out is a good thing. Definitely. That's a huge plus. Because Claxton in the middle, I mean, he's always had issues with taller bigs. Actually really showed up against the Twin Towers of Minnesota the last time we played him. So, I mean, he's going to have to do something similar. The last time we played Minnesota, actually, in this stadium, it was an overtime win. It was a 124-123 win. And the Nets got 34 out of Mikal, 29 out of Spencer Dinwiddie, and 7 players scored in double figures, including Royce O'Neal, Seth Curry, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Cam Johnson. So we hit 16 threes in that game as well, 47% from 3. Also had 33 free throws. So we're going to need to see something very, very similar. Cam Thomas in that game had 1 point. He played 5 minutes. And then for Minnesota, Gobert had 26 and 13 in that game. No Karl Anthony Towns in that one. Anthony Edwards scored 32. So, I mean, we can't give away 120 points, truth be told. So, we'll see how we go in this one. But it is going to be a very tall order because the Minnesota Timberwolves have won 39 of their 56 games. So, we're really going to have our work cut out for us. Can confirm, though, the internet is fine with me. How am I watching it? I'm watching it on League Pass. I don't know why I hesitated. Just saw the team G up before they walked out on the court, and they were so flat and not pumped at all. Bloody concerning. Well, yeah, I mean, it's all been words at the moment. It's a lot of this. Talk. No action. So we are going to be in for another long night if this team is just fucking trash in terms of their mindset and attitude. I actually feel more sorry for like the play-by-play announcers on Yes because this is their job. They have to call a shit basketball team for their job. So look, I mean, I'm doing it for free. So, well, not for free, but very minimal financial gain. So I don't know what's worse, but yeah, this team, man, got to do something today. Something's got to click. Let's have a look. Okay, so starters for the Nets: Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, Mikal, Finney-Smith, Claxton, the same 5. We put out against Toronto for the Timberwolves. It's Conley, Edwards, McDaniels, Anderson, and Karl Anthony Towns rounding out the 5. No Gobert tonight, which is a plus for the Nets, who are obviously trying to win, and don't have too much size in the front court. Been watching since last year, and whenever I can't watch Nets games, I go to your channel. Keep it up, fam. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Appreciate it. That's why I keep doing these. For those sort of comments, really appreciate it. So the Nets need to get a win. Just need to get a win. It's all good and well to talk, but you've actually got to show up. You've got to show up. You've actually got to show a little bit of ruthlessness and edge about you. We have not seen that nearly enough this season. And quite frankly, I don't think the players that we're playing with to start the game don't really have any edge about them either. So is that going to reflect in our play? Or are these players going to well and truly rock up and set the standard? The tip is won by Minnesota. They are going to be the team that sets the standard, I think, and we're just going to have to reach the same standard. That's a great cut by Conley. It's too easy. Just allowing an easy cut, good off-ball movement. There was no one... Well, every single Timberwolves player, bar one, was lining the three-point line and allowed an easy look under the basket. So a great set play. First up for Minnesota. Bridges in the mid-range. He hits, and his first 2 points of the game come within the first minute. So 2-2. And Minnesota will get into a set here. Knocked away by Ben Simmons. Gets the steal. He just fucking airballed a layup, and I think it was a travel, but it's not going to be called, and that's well done by Ben. Immediately scores the same amount of points within 1 minute than he did the whole day the other day. He scored only 2 points. McDaniels just fell over, and Simmons gets his second steal in 2 minutes. Finney Smith in the corner for 3. You just knew that was a terrible shot. Edwards saves and a rebound. So Ben with a nice start here. Couple of steals, 2 points. Love to see it. Towns has got Thomas on him. I don't know what Ben Simmons is doing. We're playing a bit of zone, but we just allowed a simple pass to slow-mo. In other words, Karl Anderson. And an easy score for him. Ben, runner, he's fucking airballed a floater, bro. What the hell, man? I mean, cool beans for him taking a shot, but you got to be kidding me. Minnesota under the basket again. Anderson's right hook shot is off, and Ben will pass it to Thomas. Lost the handle a little. Shake and bake, shoots the 2. It's off. Claxton definitely was held by McDaniels. That'll be the first personal of the game. And McDaniels obviously will pick it up. Claxton draws it. And the Nets will trigger in from the side. So 4-4. Early going in this game. McDaniels is going to be a tough sort of player to deal with. Plenty of steals that guy generates. Claxton into the paint. Hand off to Bridges. Moves through. Good cut by Finney Smith. Gets into the paint. Waited for the defender to get by. And he scored off the window. So nice play by Dorian Finney-Smith. 6-4. Good little start here by the Nets. Towns is going to try take it in. The kick out to McDaniels. Good defense by Bridges. Kick out to the corner for Edwards, who is trapped in the corner by Finney-Smith. Edwards is going to back down Finney-Smith. The turnaround J on the baseline is an air ball, and that's great defense by the Nets. Very, very pleasant viewing on that defensive possession. And the Nets will go again. Look to gain an early advantage here. Up 6-4. And the Nets have gotten some good stops. Forced a couple of turnovers. Love to see it. Ben to Claxton. Bridges will get it again. Shoots at the elbow and hits this time again. So Bridges, 2 mid-ranges, 2 conversions. And the Nets are up 8-4. Towns will pass to Edwards. On the move, jumper is short. The rebound by Thomas. Great box out. And Mikal will look to get us into a set. Finney Smith, the 1-2 with Bridges. Shoots at the elbow again, does Mikal, and that one rattles out. So it's pretty clear he's looking to take a mid-range a little bit more often than he has been in, well, the longest time, to be honest. Conley picks up his dribble. McDaniels will drive, and there is a foul, and it's apparently on Cam Thomas, who's not really sure where the foul is. Let's have a look. Nope, we're going to see the shot clock violation that happened a few possessions ago. So Nets off to a bright start, I would say. Minnesota have looked a little bit disjointed in the opening. You love to see it. So the Nets up 8-4. Towns is going to attack, and that's really smart. He had Cam Thomas on him, and that was always going to be a disastrous sort of result with no help defense. Simmons flings it to the corner, and now Cam Thomas. Drive. Thomas surely gets a foul, but didn't. Was able to score off the window, though. Got the angle, 10-6. And we've seen 4 minutes elapse thus far in this first quarter. Towns takes it in again. Good defense by Claxton. He's got a block. And now the Nets in transition. Finney Smith, Ben, Cam Thomas in the other corner. It's off. Good ball movement, though. I tell you what, Ben should have just put that shot up. He had the size inside, and he was in the paint. I mean, right option, though. If Cam Thomas makes it, you're saying it's the right play by Ben. Good reverse by Anthony Edwards. Switched midair. Scored with the offhand. And the Nets lead is down to 2. Mikal, good pass to Thomas. Has an open man in the corner, but he passed it up for an open mid-range, and he knocks it down. So the Nets have really found a fair bit of ease with the way they've scored at the moment. Cam Johnson and Schroeder are getting ready to check in. So interesting to see who the changes would be. I would assume Finney Smith and Simmons will be the two to come off. Towns nearly lost his footing. Anderson is open for 3, and that is well short. You live with those shots, and the Nets will get the rebound. So we're nearly at the halfway stage of the first quarter, and the Nets have only given up 8 points. Bridges for 3. It rattles out. Well short. Towns the drive. The layup is good, and doesn't look like he's going to get the whistle. So 12-10. Nets still up, and they have been since, well, they scored their first couple of points of the game. Claxton up top. Picked up by Towns. He's going to drive it. Good attack. Blew the layup. Rebound by McDaniels. I'm liking that by Claxton. Although there's an open Conley 3 in transition, and it's out. Ben Simmons needs to push the pace, man. Mikal has Conley on him. Gets it inside and scores off the window again. And Mikal Bridges has had his way in this opening period, which I didn't expect to say because, well, Minnesota are a very solid defensive team, but no Gobert tonight, so the defense probably is going to look a little bit different from a Minnesota perspective. They don't have that defensive anchor in play. Looks like we're going to get a timeout, and I think it's going to be the Nets who call it. So first timeout of the game, and the Nets have led nearly every step of the way in this opening quarter. The defense hasn't been too bad. We've given away some good shots, or shots that you would like to give away. You know, when you look at the scouting report, Karl Anderson 3s, Karl Anderson 2s. There's been some good defensive contests as well. We've turned it over or forced a number of turnovers, which is a huge net positive. And let's go over to the box score. Nic Claxton, I assure you, does not have 20 steals. All right. How do I do this? How do I refresh? There we go. All right. So at the moment, Nets not doing too bad. Not too bad. Nearly every net is scored, bar Claxton, who was very close to making a layup off the glass. He just put a little bit too much mayo on it. Been a pretty even game so far. Mikal Bridges has 6. Cam Thomas has got 4. So those two are going to need to perform if we're to start, or if we're to win this game. First and foremost, Claxton has the 1 assist and the 1 block. So I will update those stats for you. So yeah, 7 of 15, no threes made or free throws, but gotten a couple of steals and a block. Minnesota have had, they've had a couple of turnovers. They are shooting at 6 of 12. So very similar profile of shots for Minnesota. Haven't made a three, haven't made a free throw. All the scores coming from inside the arc. And Karl Anderson's leading the way with 4 points each for both of those guys. So that is the way things look. But Mikal's looked really good. 6 points, 2 dimes. Ben Simmons got 2 steals and he's taken a few shots, which you don't mind. I would like to see him change where he's taking those shots from, because there's been a couple where he's just, yet again, he's shirked away from the contact. How's Lonnie Walker doing? He's he's on the bench, but he hasn't been too bad. He's averaged about 12 a game in 18 minutes, which is pretty good efficiency, or comes with good efficiency. But Lonnie has scored 3,000 points, I believe. Last game he had scored 3,000 points in his career. If you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new as well. We'll be back for Nets versus Memphis in a couple of days' time. That is a game you absolutely need to win. When you look at who Memphis have gotten or have got on their team and who they are missing, that should be a given. But Memphis play hard. They're a good team, even without the talent. So Schroeder is in the game. He's going to take it in. Mikal is open for 3 in the corner, and there was a foul off the ball, and I think it's Cam Johnson who is the man that gave it away. So Minnesota can get the lead back. They've made a couple of changes with, Day'Ron Sharpe's going to check in for the Nets, and I think it's Claxton going off. So the big man rotation is something that remains to be seen in terms of how the minutes are allocated. Lonnie Walker is into the game, so Schroeder, Walker, Bridges goes off, Claxton also off. So Schroeder, Walker, Thomas, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Cam Johnson the 4. How many times do we need to say that Cam Johnson can't play the 4? Yet we continue to do it. Edwards, the Euro, hangs, misses. It's good defense by Cam Thomas, who went vertical and was disciplined enough to not give away a foul. It's Walker on the outside, the Schroeder, now to Cam Thomas, and Cam will drive it in. Pass to Walker, one more for Johnson, and the 3 is good. So good ball movement by the Nets. Quick, no hesitation involved. And the Nets get the lead back up to 5. I believe this is their largest lead of the game. So Nets getting a few good stops here. It's Naz Reid also in the game. Alexander Walker for 3. That rims out. The rebound by Cam Thomas. And CT will pass to Walker. Screened by Day'Ron, and now the switch. Thomas has got slow-mo on him. Cam will drive. The good kick out to Johnson, who's open in the other corner this time, but a little bit too much on it, and a rebound for Alexander Walker, who will hand it off to Edwards. It remains in. The cross, the spin. Good defense by Day'Ron, and he remained vertical again, so another miss by Edwards. We have the numbers. Thomas has pulled up for 3. Why would you do that with the numbers? It's a poor bit of shot selection there by CT, and now it is McDaniels walking a tightrope. The drive by Alexander Walker, the kick out. Anderson's open in the corner for 3 and got no lift. And he's going to keep shooting those if he's got all that space. So the Nets are giving away the shots that you would like to give away, as I've sort of mentioned earlier. Walker, good move. Now Thomas on the wing. Back to Walker, who will look to shot create here. Schroeder's got an open 3. And he scores. It's an 8-point lead for the Nets. And it looks like we may get a timeout. The Nets up 8 in this first quarter. And some people were looking to, adopt the opinion, the stance that we were going to be down by 10 at quarter time. But Minnesota are on the second night of a back-to-back. Does it look like they're on the second night of a back-to-back this early on? I wouldn't say so. But their shot selection is, it's not that good, I will say. And defensively, they do look a little bit lost without Gobert out there. So, definitely a big loss for Minnesota going into this game. And it's going to be interesting to see those bench minutes because sometimes they usually like to have two centers on the floor, play Cat at the 4. And yeah, Naz Reid usually plays the 5, sometimes with the bench. Mikal's had a good first quarter. Really positive first quarter, 6 points. And then we've gotten a couple of threes from the bench as well. Not shooting it particularly well, though, which would come as a surprise to a few. But no turnovers. That is a big number. The other day, one of the main reasons we gave away 46 fast break points was the 17 turnovers we committed, and we committed like 8 in one quarter. This is a very good sign. We're not shooting the ball well, but the defense is really holding up. And it's primarily because, well, Anthony Edwards has gotten into the paint and been held up very well. And it hasn't been down to one individual. There have been multiple players which have met Anthony Edwards at the rim. So he's gone 1 of 5. Karl Anthony Towns has gone to the bench earlier in terms of, because they need to stagger minutes. And Cole Anderson's taken 5 shots, equal most. So that has led to them not making a 3 and also shooting 37.5% from the field. They also have not taken a free throw, and they've also committed turnovers, something we have not done. So there's a number of reasons why we lead this game this early on. And, well, we constantly talk about efficiency. This needs to happen. The efficiency needs to happen. Needs to happen. You cannot drop off here. We need to remain efficient. We need to remain consistent. All right. And it's not just me throwing out random buzzwords. We actually need to do both of those things. So, doing a lot right in this first quarter. And Kevin Ollie obviously would have given this team a spray because a 28-point loss to Toronto it's not going to cut it. Although I'm not liking the fact he's just taking Cam Thomas out for Dennis Smith Jr. I'm not liking that. Karl Anthony Towns is back in. What the fuck? So Edwards just blew another layup, and he's getting very vocal with the referees, thinking that he's been fouled basically every single time he's taken it in. The Nets get another stop, though, and it's Schroeder who shoots another 3. It's off. Dayron with the board and the offensive rebound, plus the putback 2. The Nets are up 10, and the Nets have really solidified a nice old lead. Monte Morris is in the game for the first time. I've not seen this guy play for ages. Towns is getting checked by Dayron, and that's a smart move. He was able to shield the pass well, or where the pass was going to land, and then he was able to have Dayron on his back shoulder and take it in. Was fouled. 2 free throws here for Karl Anthony Towns. The first of the game between either team. So it's going to be 2 shots here. The Cat, and the first free throw comes up now. 22-12 the lead for Brooklyn. And Towns at the line now. Shoots the first and makes very smooth looking jumper. He had a great All-Star weekend, even though there was no defense played. I think he scored like 50 in the All-Star game. And he had a good showing in the 3-point contest. So hopefully that isn't going to translate over to this game. But he's done some nice things early on for Minnesota, even though they've only got 13 points on the board. He makes the second, and the lead's cut down to 8. So Schroeder picked up full court there by Alexander Walker. Schroeder's going to get by. Walker ready to shoot the 3. I don't like that shot. We've attempted 10 threes, converting on 20% of those. Towns shoots a 3 himself and hits. So Minnesota go the other end and do something we simply couldn't do. Take it inside. We've shot it so well on the interior. 8 of 13 we are. Dennis does exactly what I just said, but he blows the layup. I don't know why Dennis is in the game, to be honest. And that's not Schroeder. DSJ. Towns, picked up by DSJ. That's going to be an offensive foul. And Dennis does well there. Karl Anthony Towns with the push-off. An aggressive fend, and it's going to go the other way. So the Nets do well to get a stop there. And yeah, Towns with a little bit of an arm extension. Shot would have, well, it was a 2. That would have been converted if the whistle was not blown. DSJ out to Schroeder, and now the screen. Schroeder passes to Dayron down low, back out to Dennis. Schroeder will take it inside, wraps around and lost the ball, and I think it should have gone the other way, but the Nets are going to, well, get 3 seconds to work with here on the baseline. And Chris Finch, I think, is going to challenge it. And he's going to win it as well. Smart call. He's going to get the benefit there. Schroeder really should not have lost the ball there going up. That should have been an easy regulation layup. Instead, it's going to be a 4-point swing. Or it is going to swing in favor. So the Nets up by 5. And Minnesota have really struggled, man. Really struggled from the field. The Nets have had a little bit more success. Actually, not really. Not shooting the ball too well ourselves, to be honest. But the turnovers, or the fact that we've got donuts for turnovers, is a huge win. The 3-point percentage is absolutely killing us at the moment. There's been quite a few Nets who have taken multiple and not made any. And that is culminating into a really bad percentage overall. We're shooting 40% from the field, but Mikal and Cam Thomas have combined for 5 of 11 shooting. The only Achilles heel I have about the early going is playing Dennis Smith Jr. I don't think that is the right idea. I really don't think that's the right move, to be honest. Because to be honest, like, I would rather have Trenton Watford or Jalen Wilson in the game over DSJ. Like, you're undersized. You get Jalen Wilson in, you've got another offensive rebounder and a capable defender because he's like 6'8". Immediately, because he's got more size than DSJ, it looks a little bit better on your part. And he can shoot threes. Really should have made that, Dennis Schroeder. Really should have made that layup. Just lost the ball going up. It's going to be Minnesota ball. And Minnesota retain their challenge and time out. There's a couple former Nets coaching staff members on the team, on the Minnesota team. Pablo Prigioni and also Igor Kokoshkov. Monte Morris is going to drive on Sharp. He's going to cook in that matchup. Don't really ask me how that matchup came to be, because look, very early in the shot clock as well. Far too happy with the switch. Schroeder to the corner for DSJ. Immediately, because he can't shoot, he fucks it up and gets blocked on the layup. There's just no reason for him to be on the court. Edwards, easy 2. You've just lost the lead because you played Dennis. You're getting fucking cooked with Dennis Smith Jr. on the court. Gotta take him off. You were fine until you brought him onto the court. Schroeder the mid-range. It's off. The spacing is fucking trash. Dayron just missed the putback too. Minnesota are going to score here. I can tell you right now. Euro by Edwards. Layup is good. And the Minnesota Timberwolves have the lead. So after an excellent first quarter, 2 minutes have completely removed all the good that we did. What did I say? An 11-0 run. After we conceded 12 in about 10 minutes. All because you have Dennis Smith Jr. on the floor, who theoretically is only there for defense. That should have been a foul. 2 seconds. 1 second. Edwards definitely expired the shot clock. And that's quarter time. We're down 1. Don't deserve to be down 1 at all. But because of one rotational mishap, we trail by 1. It just doesn't make sense to me why we go so undersized when we've got wings and forwards on our bench. I cannot wrap my head around it. That, and we're playing Cam Johnson at the 4. If you play Wilson, Wilson is a 4. Or he can play a 4. He's more physically built out, so he can play the 4. And he's a good rebounder. It just logistically does not make sense. Play Wilson, take off Dennis. Simple. Simple. You completely compromise your offense because you've got Dennis Smith Jr. on the floor. Schroeder just had a play where he had to drive and kick it out. Only open man was sitting in the corner. Guess who it was? It was Dennis Smith Jr., who was not going to shoot a three because he can't shoot them. It's really simple stuff. You just need to dumb it down. It's not complicated. And would you look at that? Dennis Smith Jr. in 3 minutes was a -9. All our starters were in the plus. And, well, all our bench was also in the plus until Dennis Smith entered the court. So, yeah, fair to say we have really not lucked out there, and we've only got ourselves to blame, or Kevin Ollie has got himself to blame. Karl Anthony Towns is the high man with 9. Edwards scored a couple late. 6 points for him in this match so far. He played the whole first quarter, but he was 1 of 6. And then he's gone and scored 2 in a row because we've missed shots and they've been able to exploit an unset defense. So it's really not common sense. Minnesota have got their percentages up with a couple of makes late in the quarter. Definitely wasn't the most appealing first quarter, but look, we had a great bit of defensive work or put in a great shift defensively until the end of the quarter, where we made those stupid blind decisions to play players that simply don't fit. Just because Dennis Smith Jr. is supposedly your 10th best player or 9th best player, it doesn't give you an excuse to not play your 12th or 13th best simply because they're lower in the pecking order. They fit better. They fit the team better. It's just a no-brainer. DSJ should only be used in certain games in certain situations. This most definitely is not one of them. Like, we were doing fine without him on the court defensively. You've got Watford and Wilson sitting on the bench. Oh my God. We do not deserve to be losing this game at quarter time. Defensively, we were rock solid. Yet we keep playing 2 non-shooters. Johnson misses a 3. Finney Smith does well on the glass and recycles the possession. Oh my God, and Walker turns it over. So we've just gone from having no turnovers and playing good defense to completely removing both of those things from our game. We're playing I do like what he's done with the front court now. It's Simmons playing small ball center, and then it's Finney Smith and Cam Johnson as the wings. DSJ is the guard, and he gets the steal here on Naz Reid. Good pickpocket, and he blew the layup. This fucking idiot cannot make shots, bro. Fast break possessions, man. So killer. Open 3, it's off. We're lucky. DSJ gets it ahead to Johnson, who will drive. Kicks it out blindly to Dennis. Very lucky to not turn it over. Walker, good feed. Ben blows the layup. Blows another layup. What am I watching? High school basketball or some shit. What is this? Conley has an open 3. Yes. So many fucking layups blown. Oh my God, these are NBA players and they show less skill at the basket than I do. That has to be a foul, and it's going to be 2 shots for Finney Smith. Oh my goodness. The one strength of some of these players, still they can't capitalize. Dennis is a better interior offensive player, can't score a layup. Ben Simmons is a better interior offensive player, can't score a layup. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is shocking. So Doe makes the first free throw. Schroeder isn't even a bad point guard. It's just for some reason we play him, we misuse him. Because we keep trying to cookie cut players into a mold that they're not. Cam Johnson isn't a 4. Dennis Schroeder is not a 2. And DSJ is not a point guard that should be playing more than 20 minutes. So Finney Smith ended the 14 straight point run that Minnesota just executed with 2 made free throws and cuts the lead to 2 for Minnesota. Conley on the outside. Now Naz Reid. It's way too open of a 3. It's short though, and the rebound by Ben Simmons. He's going to look to push it. And he nearly had it knocked away. He fed Lonnie Walker, who was ready to fire, and he has not found his shot in this game. Missed a lot of three-pointers. I want to see him use that athleticism and maybe pull up for some mid-ranges, because the three-point shot isn't going down at the moment. It's Conley on the outside. He flings it across to Monte Morris. Bounce pass to Conley. Open three. Yes. I tell you what, it is actually criminal that Conley and Monte Morris are their guard tandem, and we have not attacked the interior. Walker's open for another three. That one is good. And those are the shots you should be taking, because those ones are well and truly on offer. So a good response by the Nets, but it's fair to say we have hit a wall. Naz Reid the drive. That's great defense, and Finney Smith is being called for a foul. The Nets have taken 14 threes and made 3 of them. That's a huge issue. We would be, well, if we could have just made half of those shots, we would be in a great position right now, but fair to say the offense is not as skilled as the defense is, if you could even say the defense is that skilled at all in the first place. It's going to be 2 free throws here for Naz Reid. And he bricks the first one. I can't agree with that. Ben should play the whole match at least 40 minutes. Well, Ben's got to play small ball 5, or he's got to play as the primary facilitator if we've got all 5 on the floor. Okay. Well, Naz Reid just missed both free throws, so that is a plus, I guess. Simmons looking for a Bridges handoff. He's finally back in. Had a good long stint on the bench. Flings it out to Finney Smith. Oh my god, bro. What sort of pass is that? It's just shit, bro. It's just rubbish play. Oh my god, mate. Walker the drive. That is not a foul. 2 non-shooters on the court has completely fucked up the momentum. Completely. I just don't understand why we've opted for this lineup. Took Cam Thomas off for Dennis Smith Jr. and it could not have killed us anymore. Good miss by, good forced miss by DSJ. Bridges wants to get into the set early, but it's good defense by Alexander Walker. Now DSJ in the corner. Minnesota lead by 4. Dennis is going to back down. Finney Smith is open for the 3. That is also off. We've basically got 3 non-shooters on the floor. You have to get Cam Thomas back in the game. He has been on the bench for way too long. Naz Reid here in the post. Got Walker on him. Someone's going to have to help out here. Finney Smith comes over to help. It's good defense. Mikal swoops on it. Pulls up for 3. And misses that as well. Why are we shooting this many threes? This many threes. Take it inside, for fuck's sake. Oh my god. All these bigs. And for what? Bro, they've got 2 guards under the size of 6'2". That's a tough 3 by Alexander Walker, so much so he's airballed it. This is just not a watch for the faint-hearted, seriously. There have been so many bad shots taken. Minnesota have gone on a 19-5 run, and it has not been the convincing kind. It's just more so been because we've been shit since DSJ has set foot in the game. So Claxton is back in. I don't know who he's taken place of. We have had 10 more shots and made 2 less. Let that shit sink in. We're shooting 29%, yet somehow only trail by 4. Simmons to Mikal. Dennis Smith Jr. needs to go to the bench. I just don't understand why these minutes are staggered like this. Make up your mind. Finney Smith, the drive, missed, but tipped it in. So, Nets are really doing it tough at the moment. Really, really doing it tough. We have not had a fast break point. Schroeder's getting ready to get back in. McDaniels had it fumbled. Ben with the steal. We've got the numbers. If you can't score this, oh my god, that has to be a foul. What the fuck is that bullshit? What is this bullshit, bro? Oh, piss off. Naz Reid has completely cleaned up Claxton, who's going to get it at the other end. Naz Reid is holding his ankle. I have no idea how Claxton has not been given the benefit of a foul call. Nasri just completely fell on top of him, and the referee just ignored it. Like, once you exit the confines of the basketball court, nah, we don't worry about that shit. So Claxton, bro, what the fuck is this? He's just jumped on him. He's just fallen on him. How is that not a foul? So much contact there. That is a foul every day of the week against any opponent, against any player ever. Naz Reid's in real strife, though. It looks like he's going to be off. He's going to not be able to play again. I mean, he was very slow to get up, and he only just got up now. So, excuse me. Look, we got a good 2 points on the other end, a good pass by Ben Simmons to get it ahead to Claxton, who was basically poaching up the other end. But, God, this has been a really tough watch. I mean, this is very similar to the previous time we played him. Both teams scored under 100 points. I can see that happening again here. But we really need to ensure that we don't fall off at the back end of this second quarter. Don't let it get away. Actually go on a run of your own. Because Minnesota are not scoring well. Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, I suspect, would be back on the court after this timeout. So hopefully our starters can dig in here. Schroeder was getting ready to check in, but Cam Thomas has been off for quite some time. He needs to get on the court because we've struggled to score. And when Cam Thomas and Mikal are on the court, it looks a little bit of a better viewing experience. It might be a coaching problem. I promise you, it is not a coaching problem half the time. Half the time, these players just make some brain-dead decisions, bro. Like, what's the coach going to do about a bunch of missed layups? Ben's missed them. DSJ's missed them. Dayron's missed them. There's so many players that have missed layups at the rim. There's nothing you can do about it. And for the threes, there's been plenty of open threes as well. Good, makeable shots. Haven't made those either. We're shooting like 15%. Or some absurdly shit number from three. And we're shooting even worse from the field. And it's not a byproduct half the time of Minnesota playing good defense. Minnesota have not really clamped us. There's been a lot of good looks. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Memphis in a couple of days' time, so make sure to tune in for that one. Also, there is a donate button if you would like. You are more than welcome to donate something small and support the channel. We are back. Towns is back in. Edwards is also back in. Towns on the outside is going to shoot over Claxton. It's off. Rebound by Cam Thomas. Good defense by Clax on the perimeter. Thomas to Bridges. Tripped over. And was able to recover the dribble. Fair play. And they went under the screen. It was an open three. But, bro, take it inside. I know the three was on offer, but just not good enough. Not good enough shot selection, man. You cannot keep shooting these threes knowing you can't make them. We look like the side on a second night of a back-to-back. Like, none of these shots are getting lift. Mikal needs to get back to the mid-range. Takes it in this time and scores the layup. That's a good move. He was able to shift Karl Anthony Towns. I just don't know why we haven't done that more often. Minnesota do not have Rudy Gobert manning the middle. It should open up plenty of opportunity to make some good shots. Edwards on the outside. I've just completely fucked up the microphone. Towns blew the layup. Good defense by Finney-Smith. Or good hustle on the rebounding side of things. It opens the space up because Towns is still down. Oh my God, Clax. Blowing layups. Another missed layup by Claxton, bro. He has had so much advantage inside, under the basket. Every time he's blown the layup, bro. Simple look. I mean, you don't even have Karl Anthony Towns in the middle on that sequence. That is piss poor from your center. He has got to make use of that. Karl Anthony Towns travelled. I don't know where the travel was, but apparently the referee saw something I didn't. Wearing some tinted glasses. Yeah, he did actually move. The referee's right for that. So, the Nets have only scored 33 points, and usually would probably be down double figures. Instead, we're only down, well, we're not down. Claxton with a good take. Good feed by Mikal Bridges. Had it nice and vertical for Claxton to escort into the basket. Towns will take it inside. Oh my goodness. Now that is what Clax should have done at the other end. Show a bit of ferocity. Show a bit of edge about you. These piss-weak layups, put those away. Shoot a couple dunks or score a couple dunks. Schroeder does well to respond and score a two-pointer in the mid-range. And the Nets get it back up to 2, their lead. McLaughlin out to Edwards. Pass is forced. Towns, top of the key. McDaniels shoots a 3. It's off. Rebound by Claxton. And he'll leave it for Schroeder now, who will use the Claxton screen. Schroeder has the defender on the back shoulder. Just lost the ball and no foul called. Turnover. McLaughlin, the reverse, didn't get enough English on it. And the Nets can take it the other way. They've got the numbers. Thomas. Oh my fucking God, bro. This team. Bro, I cannot be asked. Cam Thomas in transition, fucking shuffling his feet for no reason. All you needed to do was pass the ball. 9-year-olds, 6-year-olds could do that shit. Oh my God, it's just pathetic. That is a pathetic turnover. That's the only way to describe it. And Edwards ties it up. That is the only way to describe it. You had an open number in the corner and fucking shuffle your feet on a pass. Coaches can do whatever they like, but if your players can't even learn how to run, well, then you've got a fucking problem, don't you? That is just never a foul, by the way. And it's been called on Claxton, I think. Bro, if your players can't walk, if your players can't run, well, then obviously your team's gonna lose. Just the fucking eyesore watching this team sometimes. Like, we didn't even turn the ball over in the first quarter, and then we're turning it over like this. This was the same shit that happened in the previous game as well. And teams remained in the contest, or Toronto remained in the game, or got this buffer that they got at the half and three-quarter time simply because we were turning the ball over in the most brain-dead fashion, and Cam Thomas is prone to one or two of those a game. One or two of those a game. I'm talking way too fast because my mind is an absolute fucking mess after having to witness that shit. It does my head in. It's so easily preventable. Learn how to walk. Learn how to put one leg in front of the other, Cam Thomas. Can score a basketball when he's got some 7-foot bloke towering over him, but doesn't know how to simply run. Oh, Jesus Christ. This does my head in sometimes, man. It's actually crazy shit how this manages to happen on a week-by-week basis. Minnesota are not shooting it well. You can see the percentages. It is not that appealing. Anthony Edwards, 8 points. Towns, 11 points. There's been no one-to-eye catching. They've scored 38 points total. And in theory, good teams would absolutely put teams like this to the sword. But the problem is, we're shooting it at 36% from the field and we've taken 17 threes, made 3. And not one of our starters has hit a three-pointer. I mean, Cam Thomas hasn't even attempted a field goal in this quarter. It's just infuriating, to be honest, really. Yeah. We need Clax to be more assertive. He's getting way too many good looks under the basket and passing too many of them up. Mikal's been good, but he's got to stop taking the threes. I don't care if your license is to take 10 a game. do not take 10 a game. You're shooting 5 of 6 inside the 3-point line. That is clearly where the opportunity is presenting itself. And no other net has taken more than 5 shots. So I don't really know what the move is going to be going into the second half, but I do know for sure Cam Thomas can't have 5 shots in a half. It's a non-negotiable. And he also should not only be playing 12 minutes a game. I think it's actually a bit criminal the bench have played that long, to be honest, because they haven't really held up too well. But look, I mean, it's a miracle we're not losing. Amazingly enough, we're not losing, and we've only scored 39 points. So I guess that's speaking volumes about how we've been able to put this team on clamps defensively, but that being said, man, I'm not looking forward to what potentially could arise in the second half. I already can foresee a 60-point half on the horizon for Minnesota, because I don't think they're going to do this again. I don't think they're going to have another 40-point half, to be honest. Just got to ensure. Please get the rebound, thank you. Cam Thomas does get the board after another miss by Minnesota at the free throw line. We've just got to ensure we close this half out nicely, because far too many games this season close out the half absolutely abysmally. Thomas, bit of a shuffle, shoots a mid-range and misses, and the rebound is gathered long by Jordan McLaughlin. Towns is going to take it in. Oh my God, that is not a foul. Towns is proving to be a little bit of an issue for Claxton, which is sort of odd because he's done well against Gobert. Let's have a look at the foul. Oh, that is just not a foul ever. I would have honestly challenged that. There is no way you call that a foul. I did not see a foul in that at all. 3 minutes to play. You cannot get into an offensive rut like you did in the first quarter. That's basically the difference in this game right now. If Minnesota did not go on that run, we have a very, very nice lead going into the half. And defensively, I mean, Minnesota may only have like 30 or so points. Who knows? So Towns can give Minnesota the lead back. They did lead by 1 at the first change, and they have an opportunity to get it back to level pegging in this second quarter with that make, which he does so well, and the Nets trail by 1. Schroeder will bring it up. 3 minutes to play in this first half. It has been a grind. Bridges on the handoff. Out to Schroeder. Do not shoot the 3. And he got hit in the face by Alexander Walker. And it will be the Nets who will reset with the shot clock also reset to 14. So Alexander Walker picks up the foul. Basically a graze on the face. But you're going to have to call those. You have to call those. It will be Schroeder who will probably get the ball from the inbounds. Nope, it'll be Claxton. Hand off to Thomas. Drive. Has the open space under the basket. That is a wild layup attempt. It is a foul, and it will be 2 free throws. CT going to the line. And I believe it'll be Towns picking it up. I'm trying to remember who it was, because I do remember in this previous fixture, someone did end up in foul trouble for Minnesota, but we didn't capitalize on that at all. And that was something that really grinded my gears in that game. Need to focus on getting to the free throw line as much as possible here, especially when the shot isn't falling. That's usually the bailout. Cam Thomas has got the 5 points, the 5 rebounds thus far in this game. Shooting 2 of 6. Finney Smith checks back in for, I believe, Cam Johnson. Nope, it's going to be Claxton, so we're going to play small. Finney Smith at the 5. I do not like this. Do not like this. 2:43 to play. Cam Thomas can give us the lead back, and he does with that make. So free throws traded at either end, and Minnesota will bring this one up. So Edwards, the bounce pass to Karl Anthony Towns, and now Edwards will receive at top of the key. Towns gets it back. Finney Smith picking him up. Now McDaniels, they're going to look for Edwards in the low post. He's got Schroeder on him. Conley's going to try Cook, and, well, he's just fumbled it out of bounds. And Mikal Bridges didn't really have to do much there. It was more self-inflicted error, but it is going to be Nets ball nonetheless. Doesn't matter how you do it. So the Nets can reinforce a lead here late in this first half. It's Schroeder, Mikal, Thomas, Johnson, Finney-Smith, the five on the floor. Schroeder, the screen set. Now the switch. He's got Towns on him. He whips it back. That is just a terrible shot. How has Finney-Smith got that? That is an incredible swap by Alexander Walker. He's nearly sent it into another dimension. But Finney-Smith was able to get the rebound. McDaniels wasn't even looking at the ball. Finney-Smith basically got it from behind McDaniels' back. It's a very tough one to describe. It looks like there is 2 minutes to play in this first half, and we've got to get this ball inbounded, and Finney-Smith will collect. So let's see what we're going to do. It's an off-ball screen by Mikal to free up Cam, who gets into the paint. Good bit of hesitation. Space opened up, and he fucking traveled again. This guy, man, he's committing too many turnovers. You cannot get trapped under the basket like that. You have to either fling it out, dump it off. You had an easy dump off to Finney-Smith. Just too many decisions, too many bodies in the way as well. It's almost like with everything going on, your mind gets a little bit blurred. So the Nets lead by 1, but definitely had an opportunity to buff the lead up. So Cam Johnson will go to the bench, and I presume we've brought in some defensive versatility here. And I think, yep, it's Claxton back on the court here to play the final couple of minutes. It's Edwards on the outside. Now Towns will try to take on Bridges. It's good defense. Towns blows the layup. Good offensive rebound. Alexander Walker misses the layup, and it's swept up by Schroeder. Bridges moving 3. It's off. We have numbers under the basket. Claxton is going to look to take it in. He doesn't get the layup to go, and it's going to be Nets basketball. So we've absolutely fluffed that possession. I mean, I don't mind Mikal taking threes in transition, but the shot just isn't falling. You've got to attack the basket. I guarantee you there's open looks on the inside, and we're just not batting an eyelid. We've had 8 offensive rebounds as well. Wonder how many of those have been converted into second chance points. Bridges the turnaround, that's short as well. It's just not the shot when you've got all these players on the court. You've got to play some team basketball. ISO ball ain't going to work. Good defense by Schroeder. Edwards pirouettes. Doesn't get it to go. Thomas with another rebound. So he's been racking up the boards in this game. Thomas going to drive. Gets by the defender. Easy layup for 2. And he got right by Alexander Walker. So uncontested layup of sorts there. And the Nets have a 3-point lead. So a much better quarter in terms of closing this second quarter out. And Minnesota will hold for a 2-for-1 here, you would suspect. They'll have to use the full shot clock in order for that to happen. Edwards has 5 to shoot. He's got Claxton on him. He's going to pass it off to Conley, who's ready to fire. The 3 is off the board. Oh, you're kidding me! What a nothing foul to give away. We've just given away 2 points, essentially, because we couldn't box out. And it's because, well, Finney-Smith under the basket on Karl Anthony Towns. Needed to be a collective rebounding effort there. It would have been a terrible possession for Minnesota if they couldn't come away with the goods. They're going to get 2 easy free throws here to cut it down to 1 if they make both. It's just like, it is so avoidable, the shit we do. Cam Johnson's going to return for offensive purposes. And the Nets, well, will want a good possession here. No turnovers, no bad shots, please. So, Karl Anthony Towns, 1 more shot. And Minnesota have made some subs that are defensively minded as well. Second free throw for Towns, rims in. And the Nets lead by 1. So, Schroeder will bring the ball up, picked up by Alexander Walker. And he will run the clock down, I would suspect, with a 6-second difference between shot and game. Claxton is going to take it in, shoots and scores. That is well played by Claxton, and he needed to be... Well, he's needed to make amends for the shit he's been doing on the interior because he's been chucking up bricks on the layup. Edwards has got Claxton guarding him. The drive, good double. Edwards on the baseline, it's off. And that's a good defensive half. That sums it up really for the Nets on the defensive side. They've forced a number of difficult shots. Edwards hasn't found his shot. And, yeah, I mean, it's really been Karl Anthony Towns or bust for Minnesota. We lead by 3, but it's fair to say that the offense has not been grouse on either end, to be honest. Going to be looking to see if there's going to be some relief. Is there going to be a player that takes the pressure off everyone else and opens things up? Now, the good thing is, the really optimistic thing about this scoreline at the half is we conceded 121 points the other day, right? And we conceded 46 fast break points. We had 17 turnovers in the game. We also gave away more second chance points. We also gave away a crap ton of points off turnovers. I think upwards of 25. Right? In this game right now, the Nets have had 7 more offensive rebounds, 8-1. We have had 6 points to 4 off turnovers, so turnovers have been limited. The only issue is the fast break points. Minnesota have had 16 and we have had 2. So Minnesota without the fast break points are trash, and us without the fast break points are trash, but apparently good enough to lead against Minnesota. We've done enough in the half court to ensure that Minnesota really don't get their way and don't get that separation, even despite the disparity in fast break points. Second chance points, we've got 8 points to 2. I would love to see more points being converted off offensive rebounds because the opportunity is there. There's no Rudy Gobert. There's no defensive anchor. We should have way more points in the paint than what we have. And ultimately more steals. We've had 3 less blocks. Assist number is down. We've had only 11. This is the real issue for me, though, everyone. Let me just update these stats. Second quarter scored 23 points, conceded 19. That is a good first half on the defensive front. But if we look at the offense, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to look at the 3-point percentage because if you do, you will want to probably cry yourself to sleep this evening. Let's have a look real quick. Here we go. 3-point percentage, just a casual 16% from 3. We've actually made more free throws than threes, and we've taken 15 less shots from the line than we have from the outside. Now, if that doesn't scream what the shot selection needs to be in the second half, then I don't know what does. High man for the Nets is Mikal Bridges with 10, Cam Thomas is 8. Mikal shooting the ball well if you took his 3-point percentage away. And the same can be said for a number of other players that have played today. Cam Thomas is a team high plus 11. The starters have been really strong. Every single starter in a plus. And look, you are an idiot, Kevin Ollie, if you play Dennis Smith Jr. in the second half. I'm telling you right now. You do that, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you will lose the game. We need to play Jalen Wilson or Trendon Watford if you want alternate minutes. If you want an alternative, you do not play Dennis, you play one of Watford or Wilson. I would rather see Wilson play. He has been a great 3-point shooter in the minutes he has played, albeit limited. And we've only scored 3 threes in this game. If we could have just had a bit more of an adequate shooting percentage from 3, we have a huge buffer on this team. But unfortunately, we live in an alternate reality where we're shooting 34.5% from the field. Amazingly enough, though, even with those shit percentages, we somehow lead on the back of sheer defensive merit, really. 3 steals for Ben Simmons. He's actually taken 5 shots, which I'm not sure if I'm for. There have been a couple of layups he's just blown and some really bad-looking floaters, but The steals are a plus, of course. And he's got the 6 rebounds. I think the rebounding is really important because, it's one thing to force the miss, but there have been far too many games where we give away a crap ton of offensive rebounds, and we did give away a few last game, I think. The fact that we have gotten 30 rebounds, and you pair that with the 1 offensive rebound we've given away, that is huge. You look at Dayron, who's gotten 4. You look at Finney Smith, Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, all with 6. That is huge when you've got your players that aren't named a center getting these rebounds for your team. So yeah, that's a huge plus for this team. The turnover count, it's at 6, and it could have been a lot less. Quite a few turnovers, easily preventable, shit passes where we get caught in 2 minds sometimes. Cam Thomas is always guilty of doing that, and that is actually, how he's gotten his 2 turnovers today. So, look. It's a decent first half. I did say pre-game, I want this team to compete. If you win or lose, at least, go out with a bit of pride. Go out knowing that your fan base will be proud of the effort you exhibited in this game. Now, fair to say in the first half, it has been good. But how many times do we say this and then in the second half they completely fall flat? Very rarely after a first half like this will we have the upper ascendancy in the second half. Very, very often the opposition takes hold. So the key is in the second half being able to capitalize on these advantages we've had. The offensive rebounds, the 3-pointers we've attempted. Minnesota have only hit 3 threes of their own. They are going to lift in output in the second half. I don't think they're going to go out and score another 42 points. They're a 39-win team for a reason. These percentages, they will normalize for Minnesota. We have to normalize our percentages to go with, and we have to keep up the defensive work. I think we've done a great job on Anthony Edwards. He's really struggled to actually get going, and he's been a little bit agitated with the calls he isn't getting. He is shooting 4 of 11. Karl Anthony Towns is leading the way with 15. But outside of him and maybe a brief stint where Mike Conley went nuts, they really have struggled to get going. Kyle Anderson hasn't scored a 3. Jaden McDaniels, not Jalen, has barely been an impact on offense, and he's had 3 turnovers. So, fair to say, it's a pretty even game. And it's going to come down to the team who, out the gate, second half, really sets the tone. If we give away a run at the start of the third, I think that is going to be the platform for a loss. I think that's going to be a platform for momentum, which Minnesota can build off. And I think it's going to be a platform for us to really lose that confidence that we've probably gotten from holding this team to 42 points. It gives us a little bit of belief that we actually can get the job done because of what we've done beforehand. So that is my take. What's your take? Let me know in the chat. Make sure to drop a like on it and also subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Memphis in a couple days. 2 days' time, I do believe. That is a winnable fixture. So if you want to see a game that we may actually win, or hear me do a call of it, because there hasn't been too much to cheer about in the new year, make sure to drop by and say hello, listen to the commentary, share your thoughts, all of the above. Alrighty. And also there is a donate button as well. So if you want to donate something for my trouble, you are more than welcome to do that as well. Overall though, I don't really know. This is really giving me, look, I get these vibes every time we play these good teams. When we can't put them away, usually we get whooped. So we need to, we really need to ensure that we put the foot down in this. We need to put the foot down in this second half, to be honest. You can't half-ass it. You're going to get punished if you don't play 4 quarters in the NBA, let alone against a team who's won 39 games. So, yeah, pressure's going to be on. But I tell you what, if there's ever an opportunity to win a game, this is one of those opportunities. A real opportunity to win this. We'll see how we go. But, yeah. Second half, though, I need to see more minutes from Cam Thomas, and I also need to see more minutes from Mikal. I know Cam Thomas has just been throwing up some horrendous sort of turnovers, but he has been good outside of that. He has not gotten an assist, but he has scored the ball decent enough, given the situation and how badly we've been shooting the ball. The key has to be in the second half, those two plays, Mikal and Cam, need to combine for more than 8 field goals made. And additionally, they either need to hit threes, start hitting them, or they need to not take them at all. It's really that simple. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure if Naz Reid is ready to return. We need to, if I will say this again and again, if you are not going to play DSJ, or if you want to play DSJ, don't play DSJ. Play Wilson, put him at the 4. You have more physicality, you have more size. You can probably I think the reality is, if DSJ was to play, he's going to be playing with Cam Johnson at the same time. Cam Johnson needs to be shifted up to a 3. You play Wilson, he's at the 4. DSJ is on the bench. You're taller. You're more solidified defensively. And yeah, that is really the situation. The other thing is, we have not seen any small ball lineups involving Ben Simmons. So, do we want to play Finney Smith at the 5 and then essentially play Ben as a small ball 5 on defense? But on offense, you've got a lot of spacing, Ben Simmons as a facilitator. Give it a go. Honestly, try something different. I think that's what needs to happen in the second half, to be quite honest with you. What are your thoughts, though? How do you see this first half? I'm going to do a little poll. Grade Nets first half. A, B, C, D. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, put your thoughts, and if you want to actually elaborate on why you have voted what you voted, make sure to let me know in the chat. We will do a little discussion. We've got a little bit of time to kill before the second half. Let me know in chat, though. And if you are enjoying the stream, of course, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you are new. Because we'll be back for Nets versus Memphis in a couple of days. So make sure to put your votes in, and we will chat about why you have voted what you voted. Pretty simple stuff. Alrighty. But man, the layups have got to be fixed. We've had a lot of layups. We need to attack the basket more. I do not want to see another 23-pointers in the second half. Do not. Because I know they're not going to be converted. We just went at 16% from 3 in the first half. Not happening. It just can't happen like that. You've got to get the balance right. They've got Karl Anthony Towns as their defensive anchor in the middle. You know, Claxton, Clax has got to be more of a focal point, and he's got to relish it. He's got to actually take it on, because I don't think he's been aggressive enough. There have been a couple of layups he's missed. There have been layups Ben's missed. There has been a transition layup DSJ has missed. Finney Smith has missed layups. Too many layups missed. Too many. For an NBA team, too many layups missed. So the key is, in the second half, you got to turn those into makes. You've got to turn some of those 3-point misses into makes. I need to see Jalen Wilson play second half if you're going to play DSJ, or if you want to play DSJ. I don't want to see DSJ. I want to see Wilson. I've set my stance. Hopefully, we will see that in the last half. This game is here for the taking. 100% it is. Who is going to be the team that responds first? It is really down to this team. Ultimately, the coach can draw up a number of plays, but the thing that really was the solid foundation for this team getting a lead in the first half was the fact that we were able to show effort and hustle and actually show a bit of pride on the defensive side of the ball. We've got 5 very winnable games coming up. Memphis twice, Atlanta twice, Orlando once. So we will be doing nearly every single one of those games. Make sure to tune in for those as well. You can subscribe if you would like to be notified of when I go live for all of those games. Usually it's about 10 to 15 minutes before the tip. Bridges to the corner for Finney-Smith. Pump fake. Open 3. Royce O'Neal style. It's off. Looked pretty good off the release, but I mean, if that's what we were grading it on, well then, mate, we would be winners every single game. Ben gets a block. Thomas for 3. Oh my god, bro. Thomas for 3, brick. Finney-Smith for 3, brick. Bridges for 3, brick. There is literally nothing. Oh my god, bro. That is just so lucky as well. Of course it rims in. Soft bounce off the rim for Cat. It looked like it was going to fall short. It got the bounce. And Minnesota get on the board first. Bridges. Good cut by Finney-Smith. It's a nice finish. And those cuts we also need to see, especially with a weakened Minnesota interior presence. We need a few more cutters testing. Towns hits 2 threes in a row. I can already see it coming on. Already can see it from a mile away. He is going to have a ripper second half. Claxton hit his hand on the rim. Ben's pass was a little bit wayward. Minnesota take it inside. Conley basically blew the jump shot, or layup, whatever you want to call it. Thomas into the paint. Acceleration. Went too fast. Didn't get the angle. Minnesota will get the rebound. Edwards. Towns. Got to close it out. It's an open 3 again. That one is long. Rebound by Ben Simmons. So the Nets down 1. Bridges drive. Good drive. Fading away. Terrible angle. Good rebound by Claxton. Behind the back by Ben to Thomas. Top of the key. We've got 10 to shoot. Thomas the drive. Gets into the paint. Tries to shuffle Conley and does well. And is able to flip it up and in. So the Nets get their first 2 points of the second half. Or second basket, should I say. Conley. Out to Edwards. Picked up by Bridges. The switch. Claxton now picking him up. And now Towns guarded by Bridges. Good cut by Conley along the baseline. Edwards, pump fake, kick out, throw it away. And Edwards, man, he is having a bit of a rotten game today. And the Nets should really look to get into the set very quickly here. Ben, cross court to Thomas. And now Claxton looking for a handoff. Bit stagnant. Bridges. Pass was deflected. It was a good pass by Bridges, or good idea. Ben, layup. Good feed by Cam Thomas. I think that's his first dime of the game. And it's very well played by Ben Simmons to just parry it in almost. So the Nets getting some good looks early on the interior, which is exactly what I called for. Towns shoots another 3, misses the 3. Rebound by Finney-Smith. And now Ben Simmons. Pass to Finney-Smith. Cross court to Bridges. It's open. Gotta hit those. Bro, Mikal cannot buy one from the outside. Gotta stop shooting threes. I think it's really as simple as just don't shoot the 3. I don't care if it's on offer. You gotta take it inside. Anderson moves Ben Simmons and scores. Easy. Too easy. So, Minnesota down 1. Ben Simmons is directing traffic. Lofted pass to Clax, top of the key. Hand off to Thomas. Drive. Pull up at the elbow. To his off. Rebound. Claxton is down. And I did see something tweak. So that's got to be worrisome. Edwards pulls up for 3 and hits. And I think there's going to be a timeout called, right? Yep. So, 2-point lead for Minnesota. They've started the better team in this third quarter, but it's fair to say the offense hasn't really translated over for either side. Nets of 6 points. Minnesota have 11 in the first 4 minutes. We've struggled a little bit more so, taking way too many threes. Still taking too many. I don't understand. You got the memo in the first half that 3 of 19 shooting indicated that you don't have your shooting stroke today. It's not there. It's not present. You've got to attack the basket. How many times do I have to say this? And you've got to defend Karl Anthony Towns like there's no tomorrow, because quite frankly, no other role player really for Minnesota has actually done anything, to be honest. So yeah, Mikal Bridges cannot make a 3. Cam Thomas can't make a 3. The starters are a combined 0 of 12 from 3, and we are shooting 13%. I didn't think it was possible for this percentage to go down. It's at that point where for every 3-pointer we miss, the shooting percentage goes down 0.5 or 1%. And if we make 1, it'll go up like 5 to 6%. That's how much of a difference it will make in terms of optics. Minnesota have hit the board from 3 to start this second half. They've already hit 3 of their 5 3-pointers. I'm just going to remind you, they hit 3 threes in the whole first half. So it's fair to say, a little bit concerning. You cannot let those percentages get up. Cannot. Especially if you're going to keep jacking them up and missing them. Of course. So, we're only down by 2, but I have a reservation that we may give this one away. Nets fans, welcome to the stream, my guy. Pete, good to see you. Alrighty. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. It's the win is staring at us down the barrel. It is right there. You've just got to take it. The opportunity presents itself. Like, come on. The threes have got to start falling. You can't keep missing collectively like this. How can a team shoot 13% from 3? I'd love to see what, for a team who shot 33s in a game, I'd love to see what the lowest shooting percentage is. Yeah. Oh, that's a great take by Claxton. Good lob by Schroeder. We need to see more of that. I keep saying it. Attack the basket. The 3 clearly is not falling. Don't try to make the percentage worse with the hope of it getting better. Anderson into the paint. To the corner for Conley. Looking for a pass. He's got Anderson on the wing, who will try to take on Finney-Smith. Ran out of room. 3 by Alexander Walker. Short. Bro, Cam Thomas again. That man is ball watching. Again. He had a man to box out along the baseline, snuck up behind him, got a hand to it, we couldn't get the rebound. Cam Thomas, your game improves if you simply do that. If you simply wake up. Stop worrying about the next possession, worry about the one that you have to do business with first. And we've just given away a 3-pointer, simply because of that inadequacy. So Minnesota up 3. They've scored 4 threes in the quarter. They scored 3 threes in the whole half. Bridges keeps on firing, and he's missed another one. Stop shooting the 3. It's not there. Anderson, the layup is good. We have Karl Anthony Towns to deal with on the inside and Kyle Anderson. Bridges, good feed. Claxton, the dunk. Simple dump-off pass. It's not rocket science. Common phrase on this channel last year. It's not rocket science. I may just have to bring it back because that is seemingly the best explanation for everything that goes on with this team. Edwards blows a layup or a floater, whichever one you want to call it, and the Nets can get it ahead. Thomas. Schroeder. Bridges under the basket, and it's a foul on Conley, and he is irate at the decision, and rightfully so. I don't think the foul was there, but that is the modern NBA for you. A lot of calls that definitely are not there. Are there? Keep on rewarding the offensive player. There is a lockup. I mean, you've got to have 20/20 vision to see that shit. So 58-55. Half a quarter to go. Naz Reid is back. So, man looked like he was out for weeks. About a quarter ago. All of a sudden, he's good to go. I'm ready to play some important rotational minutes down the stretch for Minnesota. So they lead by 3. The Nets struggled offensively. Oh my god, what the fuck was that inbounds play? Trying to lob it up to Mikal Bridges of all people. And a foul for Anthony Edwards, who is also limping now. So, a little bit contagious, to be honest. Looks like it's a bit of a corky, though. Bit of a corky there for Anthony Edwards, I think. Just a little knock on the thigh, I think. Oh, nope. It's an ankle roll. And it's not a nice one either. I really don't think that was a foul. I think that was only called because Edwards lost balance. And it was his own downfall, really. So Edwards at the line trying to flex it out. Get it moving again. He is very sore. And you've got to attack that matchup the other way now. So Edwards makes the first. All right. So Edwards makes the first. The Minnesota Timberwolves have converted 17 points already in this third quarter. It has been primarily because the three-pointers have been going in. And that usually is, well, your main source of offense nowadays. Helps you out with a lot of 30-point quarters. Oh, my God. We're so lucky. I thought that was an offensive foul by Claxton. Instead, it's going the other way. It will be a foul on Naz Reid. Although that Cam Johnson 3, yet again, another three-pointer that fell short. I don't know why we keep taking these, man. Get Jalen Wilson into the game. I'm not even capping. He actually probably knows how to knock down a 3. Try something else. Schroeder gets it inside and scores the floater. So, if it ain't working on the outside, drive it. And it's worked this quarter. It has worked. Edwards going under the screen and allowing a lot of space. Edwards takes it in. Pirouette. Forced into a pass. Towns with the right hand. It's off. Rebound by Claxton. And he's going to bring it forward himself. Pass. Schroeder's open. Drives on Towns. Layup. That's a goaltend. Where's the goaltend? What are you looking at? Oh my God. Wide open 3. It's off. Where is the goaltend? He was so late to that. So late. I could be wrong, but that looks so late. That's a turnover. Edwards. Drive. Easy layup. Basket. You're going to get killed on the break. You are going to get killed on the break. It's no secret. The recipe to beating the Nets is just force as many turnovers or as many misses as you can, and you'll be able to run out in transition and kill us that way. Schroeder shoots a 2 again. It's off, but Johnson does well to get the offensive rebound. He had it knocked away. Schroeder gets inside. Kick out to Mikal. Didn't shoot the 3 because I think the psychology is playing into it now. 5 to shoot. Schroeder into the paint. 1 more to Claxton. Can't handle it. Gets one up and airballs it. So 62-57. Offense looking disjointed as fuck. And Edwards now is going to shoot a three over Walker and make it. Nope, he misses, surprisingly. So the Nets hanging about, and it's only because, really, Minnesota cannot shoot the ball for their life. Schroeder thought about the three. Got Towns on him. Spin, drive, layup. What the fuck is this? Officiating, bro. Drive, turnover, Mikal flings it ahead. What a find. And Schroeder scores the easy layup. That is incredibly well done. Great heads-up play there by Mikal. But where is the foul calls? And where was the goaltend like 5 possessions ago? It doesn't make sense. What a game this is. And it's not for the faint-hearted, man. It is end-to-end basketball. Not a lot of time to breathe if you're a commentator. And look, yeah, it's not been the most gifted game, I will say. Nets can't defend the fast break for some reason. Well, that, and they also can't score on the break for some reason themselves. Like, the amount of times we blow layups, simple layups, when we have the outnumber. Like 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. The amount of times we don't space ourselves out and disperse ourselves correctly or enough to drag defenders away so you can actually use that extra number to your advantage. We don't do it well enough. That being said, we don't really put ourselves in the position to do that at all. So I think step one is actually getting more fast break possessions and then actually making use of it, man. The amount of times we just fuck it up, it's just ridiculous. I don't know where the goaltend was before. Should have clearly been a goaltend. I don't think we'll be able to see it back because it was so far back in time. This team, though, man, I mean, it's been a fucking slog of a quarter, to be honest. We only trail by 3. Every quarter, no team has scored more than 23 points, and as it currently stands, that record is holding up. However, we've got 4 minutes for Minnesota to score more than 3 points. So I think that's going to happen, given they've been pretty pinpoint from the outside. So that is concerning to us. I think just the more concerning thing, generally speaking, is the 59 points in nearly 3 quarters. But at least today, a lot of people, if we go on to lose this game, a lot of people will say, look, we were shit, we are shit, we will continue to be shit. How can you get excited about this team? How can you come away from this game with anything good to take away? This is what I take away from it if we lose today or if we win. And this is provided the game isn't done yet, right? If the game ends up panning out like this, where it's close and we lose a tightly fought slog, then I will have something big to take away, and that is gaining our pride back in a performance. Because the last 7 games we've lost by an average of 21 points. We have only lost, like, out of our last 7 losses, I think we've only had 1 loss in single digits. So it's about getting the pride back. And even when we lost to Boston by single digits, we never really were in the game until late, where we sort of went on a run. This is probably one of the first games in a long time where we have actually not really... Like, we're in the contest. And it needs to stay this way. It needs to stay this way. We cannot go into the same spot again where we, you know... Oh, well done, Dennis! Well done, Schroeder! I think that's going to be Nets ball. That is excellent play by Schroeder. So... out of the timeout, he's knocked it out of Morris's hands twice. Twice. And they've had a full, 13 seconds go off the shot clock, purely because he's been that disruptive. Open 3 for Alexander Walker is basically an air ball. Johnson gets the rebound. Why is DSJ in the game? Is Kevin Ollie not going to learn that those minutes are absolutely criminal? Schroeder on the outside, to the corner for Bridges. He fell over. He gives it to Schroeder. Now Johnson, we've got 5 to shoot. The screens arrive. Johnson takes it in. shoots, blocked, rebound, gets one up. There's a foul. Big bailout with 0.3 on the clock. And, well, I have absolutely no idea how we've come away from that with free throws, but you take it. When you get blocked with 2 seconds on the clock, you would expect that it's not going to end in something good, but yet we've got 2 free throws at the line for our troubles, and Cam Johnson needs to convert these, and he does make the first one to cut it to 2. So Nets have fought back well, because it did look like at stages Minnesota were going to get away with this one. They started the third quarter on a tear. They made 3 or 4 3-pointers in quick succession. So the fact that we've still held them to 20 points to this stage of the quarter is a net positive. And it's probably saying a lot about our interior defense. It has not been easy for Minnesota on the inside. So Alexander Walker's going to bring it up. Thomas returns to the game. Alexander Walker will hand it off. Knocked away by Dennis Smith Jr. Alexander Walker takes it in. Blocked by Sharp. We've got the numbers. Please use it. Dennis Smith Jr. is going at it like it's a Sunday morning stroll. He takes it inside. Got blocked. Dayron with the board. That's blocked as well. Kick out. Schroeder. One more to Thomas. Open 3. Get it? No! How can we not make a 3-pointer? It's actually baffling. We were 3 of 14 at halftime, or 3 of 14 at one stage, and I thought it couldn't get worse. We've missed our next 10 since that point. Edwards, numbers collapse. Kick out to Morris for 3. It's good. We're going to lose this game because we are shooting at an all-time low from 3. I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot this bad from 3 before. And we're supposed to have a number of wings that can actually do it. There's another 3 that's off. Johnson knocked it away on the break, but they've got another open look. It's Naz Reid. Numbers collapse. 3 by Morris again. It's off. Good closeout by Cam Thomas. My goodness. How are we still in this game? DSJ out to Johnson. Pulls the trigger. Doesn't hesitate. We've got a 3! I'm sorry. I had to just give this team a round of applause. They actually know how to make a shot. Cam Johnson had a foul to give. Or the Nets had a foul to give, and Cam Johnson seized the opportunity and was like, if I can pickpocket Anderson, I've got an opportunity to give us our lead back. But yeah, that is, well, he's just completely gone at the arms there. So that is definitely a foul. Undisputed. 1 minute 19 left, and the Nets down 1. And it's Karl Anderson who will hand it off to Anthony Edwards here. Good rotation there. Now Johnson guards Edwards. Drive. Good rotation. Edwards hangs. Blew the layup. Reid gets one back up and scores. And that's what happens when... Oh, wow. Send him out! Eject him! Eject him! No, it doesn't look like we're getting an ejection. We're going to get a technical foul because Edwards wanted, well, a foul called on him on that layup. I don't know if it was Chris Finch or Anthony Edwards there. But Cam Johnson is getting a free throw for the Nets as a result of Edwards being in the shits, but CJ can't make it. So that is frustrating as hell. Frustrating as hell. Let's have a look. Let's see where the foul was, if there was one. If it was a foul, it was a grazer. If it was a foul, it was a grazer. Johnson may have lightly struck his arm, but the camera angle doesn't do it justice. I can't see. So 1 minute to play. Drive by Schroeder. Great kick out to Dennis Smith Jr. If you had Wilson in the corner, it's fine. Johnson again, it's off. Rebound by Sharp. That's got to be a foul, and it is. And Dayron will get free throws. I'm pretty sure we're in the bonus. I could be wrong, actually. I don't think we are in the bonus. But this is the problem, right, with DSJ on the court. He's all good and well for defense, but on the offensive side, Schroeder's driven it out, done a great thing as a facilitator in being able to collapse the defense, kick it out to an open shooter in the corner. The problem is the shooter in the corner cannot shoot. It's a kickball violation for McDaniels, and it's going to be Nets ball again. And there is a little bit of discussion between CJ and Karl Anderson, and they were talking before, but it looked pretty amicable. Now it's looking a little bit more feisty there. Inbounded by DSJ. Dennis Schroeder to DSJ. Shoots a mid-range and misses. You cannot tell me, of all the shots to take, that's the right one. No Mikal, no Cam Thomas. Well, Cam Thomas is on the floor. That makes it look even worse that DSJ shot that. And we've got a foul call here at the 31-second mark. So a good 2-for-1 execution. And it is basically the exact same thing that happened in the third quarter, where Minnesota got a foul at about this stage of the quarter. And we'll get a couple of free throws here. So 31 seconds to play. Anthony Edwards at the free throw line to shoot a couple. So Edwards is well short on the first. So Edwards seems to have a lid on the rim for him. DSJ goes to the bench for Bridges. So Cam Thomas, Mikal, Cam Johnson, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Schroeder are the 5 on the floor. Edwards makes 1 of 2, and you've got to close out this half or quarter. You've got to score, and then you've got to get that stop on the other end and ensure that you're not wasting this offensive possession you got here. So 68-64, a score would be very, very handy right about now. It's got to be the right look. Day'Ron fumbled the pass, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's just so brain dead because the pass could not have been any slower and it was higher up for him to collect. And he somehow faltered under pressure. It just could not be any more simplistic. And he's given away the foul, and he's given Minnesota free throws to their best free throw shooter. Oh, just like this is the shit that makes us lose games. These things that basically, it's like a 4-point swing, a 5-point swing. Those are so damaging in close games. It was a well set up play. If Day'Ron catches that, he can either go up himself or fling it to the corner, where we definitely had like a Mikal sitting there. Instead, we've just given away 2 easy points without them ever having to take a dribble. It is criminal we trail this game. We have had 19 more shots than the opposition. So 70-64. And we'll run out the entirety of the clock here. Schroeder, switch. Oh my God, nearly turned it over. Johnson's got 2 to shoot. He drives it. Layup. He's blown the layup, but he's been fouled. And it's going to be 2 shots. I'm very surprised that they've actually called that, because it's trademark for the Nets to not get a whistle at the rim. And Cam Johnson, who missed his last free throw, will get 2 shots here to cut it to 4 going into the final interval. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Memphis in a couple of days' time. And hopefully that's going to result in a victory. Especially if this one's not gonna be. So CJ's gotten to the free throw line a fair ton, and I'm liking the aggressiveness. He's had 9 points and 6 rebounds. He's made 2 threes. Johnson makes both, and they've got 0.6, and I don't think they're going to shoot it, which they don't, of course. No time to get one of those up, and that is 3/4 time. So the Nets fought back well after giving away quite a few threes to start the quarter. They only scored 21 points in the third quarter. But the positive, I guess, is Minnesota. Well, they did score 28, but there was potential for more points to be scored, definitely. Especially with the way Minnesota started. They had 17 points at the halfway point, or just a little bit before the halfway point of this quarter. So I think it's a positive. It's a positive that we've been able to hold them up for the back end of that quarter and give us a red-hot crack at getting the win here. I put $10 on Mikal getting a double-double. You are a crazy man, Manuel. And that's probably not the way I pronounce your name. But your name is so badass. Manuel Enrique Castillo. What a name. Gonna lose this game because you guys are the Nets. It's literally that simple, right? It's literally that simple. There's no other rationale except for the fact we are the Nets. That's it. There's no way Mikal is actually... Wait, bullshit. So Minnesota had 5 threes in the quarter, which isn't great, but they did start on a heater, so we did well to even it out. Anthony Edwards has been really inefficient, so if there's a game we're going to win, it's this one. Karl Anthony Towns started the quarter well, slowed up. For the Nets, Claxton is the guy put in the spotlight today because he needs to perform, especially in this last quarter. He's got 4 rebounds to go with 10 points. Cam Thomas barely scored in that quarter. He had 1 field goal made. Mikal didn't even score in that quarter either. It was more the bench. Cam Johnson is 10. He's been to the free throw line a fair chunk. Schroeder's taken 12 shots, which is a little bit criminal, but he's not doing a bad job of helping facilitate. Mikal Bridges, though, 7 assists and no turnovers. So that is a positive, for sure. The offensive rebound's another positive. The only negative is that we're shooting 15% from 3 and 33% from the field. That is abysmal. That is abhorrent. I could think of so many adjectives to describe this performance from 3. It's not too often we have more free throws made than 3-pointers. This is a very, very bad, very, very bad output from the 3-point line. If we win this game, it is just absolutely backwards. I don't know why. We're going to lose the game, though, on this lineup alone. Conley misses another 3. We're going to lose the game on this lineup alone. We have 3 guards, Finney-Smith and Dayron. It's Thomas, DSJ, Walker. Thomas takes it in, blocked, but fouled by Reed. So, yeah, DSJ, Cam Thomas, Lonnie Walker, Finney-Smith and Dayron Sharp. The 5, Ben Simmons on the bench. I really want to see Ben play small ball 5 minutes, especially when we're playing against... Well, actually, no, it's probably not a smart idea with Towns and Reed in the game, but, you know, you've got to try something different, I reckon. Nothing to lose. And look, if we go on to lose this game, I have said this a few times, but if you are new to the stream, I have said a couple of times today, the one thing we needed to get back today was pride. And I think if we don't get blown out in this last quarter, it will be a game, win or loss, where we've instilled or gotten our pride back. We're only down 2. It's been a very, what's the word? You can rate the effort on the defensive side of the ball. It's admirable. It's just, yeah, the offense has just been a huge question mark. We doubled well, but we weren't able to block off the pass, and Naz Reed, looks like there's a foul off the ball. It's McDaniels who fouled Thomas, who's been a good rebounder today. He's had 6 or 7 rebounds in this game, so he's been very, very strong. So much so that McDaniels is actually fouling him. So, got to ensure that these 3 guard minutes don't kill us, to be honest. Interesting sort of lineup. I would have loved Wilson to play in this with this lineup. Thomas forced into a kick out. He's got 5 to shoot. McDaniel's guarding him. Good layup. That is a foul again. It's going to be 2 shots. And I think Mike Conley wants a foul. Or, sorry, not a foul. A challenge on the foul. We had 3 seconds to shoot, and that is how good Cam Thomas is. The ability to just bail your team out if you've got absolutely nothing going for you. It looks like there's going to be a challenge. So 70 to 68, and the green light is on. So, man, you know what's great as well? I hope this is an indicator that we're going to see good things today. The other day, my connection, for some reason, was shocking. Now, the reason for it was because I didn't have my Ethernet cable plugged in. It had actually been jarred out. And so I was going off Wi-Fi. That's the reason it was trash. So we rectified the issue with one simple maneuver, and hopefully the Nets are able to rectify their problems with one simple maneuver. It all starts with effort. That is the basis. That is the foundation. Hopefully that's going to be, well, what we draw upon to get the win. Ben has leg soreness? Is that actually an official thing? I didn't see anything on the broadcast. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support. And if you are new around here and you want to see more of these, we'll be back in 48 hours for Nets Memphis. So make sure to tune in for that. That should be a good game. Two teams that are probably hungry for a win and are both in the same part of the standings. So Memphis are very, very depleted. So hopefully that presents a huge opportunity for us to get the victory. We've started this last quarter positively. The key is not allowing Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns to get hot. Those players have really found it difficult today, or more so Anthony Edwards. Karl Anthony Towns has found his shot at a very timely, or in a timely fashion. But, you know, there's time to turn it around, for sure. So the Nets would have had an opportunity to get free throws, but it may be overturned. I think it's going to be overturned. It seems like every single time a coach challenges a call against us, they always get the run of the grain. So 70-68, 11 minutes to play. Long, long way to go in this one. Alrighty. Big ending in store for this team. Alrighty. So, long way to go, ladies and gents. But this is probably nearly the first game that I can actually get involved in a long time and actually get G'd up for. There's been so many games which have been blowouts. It's going to be a jump ball, it looks like. So Minnesota won the challenge, retained the timeout, but do not win the basketball, even though they got it. It did go off the backboard. So the Nets will have to win this jump ball, and it's Day'Ron v. Towns, who are very similar, I feel, in athleticism. Both not real jumpers, to be honest. So Sharp v. Towns, 11 minutes to play, and we have a little bit of shenanigans going on off the ball with regards to positioning. Here we go. Jump ball, Day'Ron v. Towns. And still hasn't been thrown up yet. Another readjustment. Here we go. And it's won by the Timberwolves. So they'll have an opportunity to get it up to a 2-possession game. It's Morris out to Conley. Picked up by Walker. Good drive. Kick out to Reed. It's open. Too much space, but that is short. So rebound by DSJ. And you need to give it to Cam Thomas here. Finney Smith thought about the three. I could see it in his eyes. Thomas will get into the paint. Steps back. Shoots over Towns. It was off. Day'Ron on the board and the two. He just lightly nudged Naz Reid under the basket. Got him where he wanted him. And was able to get the 2 points as a result. Good, subtle positioning adjustment. Reid, handoff. McDaniels down the middle. Kick out to Towns, who sets the feet. He's got Finney Smith guarding him. Who's going to drive? Good pass to Reid. That was a fling pass, and Reid's chucked up a miss. We can absolutely score on the break here. Pass is knocked away. What is Day'Ron doing? He had an open layup. He thought there was a man in the corner. He's just piffed it to the bench. There was no net within like 10 feet of that pass. What is he thinking? He just needed to go up. That was it. It was as simple as you like. And he's just flung it out of bounds. The three's off. It's a great box out by Cam Thomas on Karl Anthony Towns. And now the Nets can take the lead. It's Thomas. Picked up by Morris. The drive. The layup is good. Off the window, the banker. I don't know how he's managed to get that one up and in. He won't get the whistle, but he'll get the basket. The Nets are up 2. And it's our first lead since early in the third quarter. Towns thought about the three, takes a dribble, gets inside, good cut by Reed, and it's an air ball, but it's going to be 2 shots. And the rotation was pretty good for, well, the entirety of that defensive possession, except the end. Of course, the end is when it matters, really. Nets are just being saved by the refs. I highly doubt that, mate. I highly doubt that. We've had not many free throws in this game. And we very rarely get free throws, if ever. If ever. So we're seeing some changes. Bridges, Johnson, Claxton all in. Walker, Finney-Smith, and Day'Ron Sharpe to the bench. So DSJ playing at the 1. Free throw made by Reed. So he ties the game at 72. 9 minutes to play. It's going to start with defense, ladies and gents. DSJ, kick out to the corner for Johnson. Back to Dennis. Not Schroeder. DSJ goes vertical, blows the layup. I do not like him in the game. Especially when he's giving up possession, or he's taking the possession away from Thomas and Bridges. It just doesn't make sense to me. Conley to the corner for McDaniels. The 3 is good. And that's the first one he's made of the game. So Minnesota get the lead back. 8:30 to play. Thomas the drive. Gets into the paint. That's uncontested, and it rims in. So Thomas with a very nice looking right-handed push shot, and Minnesota lead back down to 1. Towns, Conley, swing, Morris, back to Towns. Gonna take a few dribbles. That is just ridiculous. What the hell? It is an absolute... Oh my God. That is an absolute travesty. So Karl Anthony Towns just absolutely bulldozes his way to the basket. Mikal is able to meet him on the way up, but we just don't have any personnel under the basket. Half of them are watching, and somehow there was a foul called in there. I have no idea how you are able to come to a conclusion that that is a foul when 2 players are just equally fighting for the basketball. But your guess is as good as mine. 75-74. We have 8 minutes to play, and a sub has been made. Dennis Schroeder taking the place of the other Dennis on the Nets team. Anthony Edwards still on the bench, so he's had a rough night. It is the second night of a back-to-back for Minnesota, so surely this is our game. Towns, quick trigger, he's got it. And that is miscommunication. And also down to the fact that it was Schroeder contesting Towns and not Claxton. So 7:50 to play. Nets down 4. Got to keep scoring. Thomas pulls up for 2. And he makes. So 78-76. So Thomas is beefing up the scoring in this last quarter after a quiet third quarter. Towns is going to back down Claxton. Gets inside, shoots with the left hand and gets the bounce. I think we need more support in there. Need more support. Schroeder. Blocking foul on Towns. We cannot have Johnson playing the 4. Cannot. Got to get him to the bench for Finney-Smith. I would actually rather go the defense over the offense, to be honest. It looks like we're going to get a timeout here. And the Nets trail by 4. The lead has not increased nor decreased in this last quarter. We've played 5 or so minutes so far. So we're just hanging around, aren't we? Nets are shooting 33% from the field. Yeah, it is a travesty. It is a travesty, ladies and gents, how bad we're shooting the ball. And it is even more of a travesty that Minnesota have us in this game because of that. But I think one of the reasons that we are in this game, even despite shooting as abysmally as we are, is the amount of shots we've had in comparison to Minnesota. 88 shots to Minnesota's 72. Minnesota have had 7 more free throws, but That being said, like, bro, what the hell is this stat line? 35% from the field, 15% from three. We're only down 4 points. It's mildly because we've had 14 offensive rebounds, and thus we're out rebounding them by 11. Turnovers are very, very even, 11 apiece. Top scorers for the Nets, 18 each to Mikal and Cam Thomas. 18 to Cam. Mikal's only got 10, and he's been stranded on that number for the longest time. And it's mainly because he's been shooting way too many threes. No starter has hit a three-pointer for this team, which is very problematic going into the final 7 minutes. Minnesota have hit 10 of those. So I really don't know what to expect in the final few minutes. It's very clear that Karl Anthony Towns is going to be the focal point of their offense. And equally, Anthony Edwards has been finding things difficult. So there is an opportunity, I feel, here to win this game. Of course there is. We're only 2 possessions down. You're a couple of good stops away from, well, taking the lead, and then from there you've got to hold. But, you know, if there's ever a game where we're going to be in a good position to win, it's this one. Minnesota on a second night of a back-to-back. They don't have Rudy Gobert. They have no clear defensive presence, yet we've still dropped 76 points. So, look, what do we do in this final 7 minutes? If the three's on offer, do you take it? Because I have my reservations. I mean, if there is an open three, I think you have to take it and just back in your players to knock it down, even though we've gone, well, 15% as a collective. Surely that evens out just a little bit at the end of the quarter. Surely we just make a few to compensate for all the misses. Please. Schroeder is going to use a screen. He's going to drive, get into the paint. Cutter was Bridges, but that was well covered. And now Cam Thomas, 5 to shoot. Got to get one up. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. Step back deep 2. Oh my God, it nearly went in. It's off though, and a rebound by Morris. You cannot tell me we drew that up out of the timeout. I don't know why timeouts are so shit. Towns, 3. It's open, and it rims out a full 360 on the rim. Was like there was a lid on it. Thomas, lob, Claxton, great dunk. And it was so high up. But Claxton is able to fetch those, and Cam Thomas with the feed. There's the development in his game. It's down to 2, the margin. Edwards, Towns, top of the key. Cut. That is a very stupid looking pass, and it's gone out of play. That's very self-inflicted. And the Nets can tie or take the lead. Such a good play by Cam Thomas, because Anthony Edwards, if the pass was shit, Edwards is knocking that off. Cam Thomas has gone to the bench. What the hell is that decision? And we've got to prevent the fast break points. Minnesota, 25 fast break points. They are averaging the 3rd fewest on the season. Johnson for 3, it's short. Good look. But can you not shoot the 3? Please stop. Please stop. If you got a 2, you're tied up. Edwards, the 3, he's going to make it. Yep. There is nothing more Nets basketball than attempting a 3, missing, the opposition going up the other end and making it. It's really that simple. Schroeder to Bridges to Johnson. It's open. Pump fake. It is wide open. He misses another one. Take it inside, man. Oh my God, bro. It's so common sense. Claxton, for some reason, is on the outside, guarding Nas Reed. Why do you have Cam Johnson and Mikal on the interior? You need to get Finney Smith back in the game. Well, he is in the game, which makes it even more confusing why Finney Smith and Claxton are both on the outside. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a shocking game to watch. Kevin Ollie's adjustment to make Cam the number 1 man is absolutely beautiful, in my opinion. Well, he's taken him off. He's taken him off in the final 5 minutes. That is just backwards thinking. You've got to get Cam Johnson to the bench. You have to get Cam Johnson to the bench. And Cam Thomas has returned. Kevin Ollie just heard me. 100% just heard me. Because that is the exact sub that's been made. So 5:23 to play. And the Nets trail by 5. And look. This is, well, we've got a timeout called here. This is the exact position you want the Nets to be in. And you know why? Because, I mean, some of you probably are wondering, well, why the hell would you want to trail going into the final 5 minutes? It's because the Nets are world-renowned for choking leads. Even if they have a 6-point lead in the final 2 minutes, they will somehow find a way to choke because they will opt for isolation basketball. Although, how many times do I have to do this? 3-pointers. Nets players, don't shoot them. Don't. 14%. The one game we hold a team to this few points, we can't even crack 5 3-pointers in a game. That's 1 3 a quarter. That is terrible. Terrible. No one is off the leash for this loss on the offensive side of the ball. Defense has been solid. The offense has been dog water. You have had so many threes wide open. You have to try get some more looks under the basket, I think. And spacing is so important for that. So important. I don't know where the 3-pointers are going to come from, though, when you've got Finney Smith and Claxton on the court. Schroeder isn't a great 3-point shooter. Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges have not made a 3 today. So you're really going to be, well, it's going to be interesting to see what we do down the stretch here. We trail by 5. Towns has another free throw and it rims in. So Minnesota lead by 6. 2-possession game. The Nets, well, if there's ever a time for the starters to start making 3-pointers, it's now. Mikal picks up his dribble. Cam Thomas. Mikal gets it back. He's got Nas Reed on him. The screen's going to arrive. He shoots a 3. It's open and it's off. Rebound by Anderson. It's very simple. If your players are not going to make 3s, I mean, look, we could have made 8, 9 3-pointers. We could have shot at like 25%. There's another 3-pointer. It's going to get away from us. I'm telling you right now. Because we're going to try shoot 3s to get back into the game. Schroeder faked the handoff, put one up, and it was a terrible shot. And it's gotten him in the first row. And now Minnesota have a 4-on-5. Not very aggressive exploiting that 4-on-5. Edwards 1-on-1 with Claxton. Step back. Nope. He's going to pass to Towns. Give and go. Gets into the paint. What is Anderson doing open in the dunker spot? Layup is good. It's an 11-point lead. Just like that. Cannot believe this. 78 fucking points. I'm not even going to put it down to us not being able to get stops down the stretch. It is simply because the 3s. Just as I say that, Finney Smith hits one, and I think we've got a timeout. So 4:04 to play, and Minnesota have called a timeout. 3-pointer nailed by Finney Smith, gets it down to 8, but you've got to get the stops from here on out. I could see from a mile away, though, this happening. You know, you couldn't hold Minnesota to as bad a shooting percentage as what they have been today. They're too good for this. Just won $200. Thanks, Claxton. What did he do? Score over 12 points? Is that what it is? Because he hasn't really done anything else of note, to be honest. Man, we've really missed the trick not playing Wilson. I'll tell you what. That first 3, or that 3 just made by Finney Smith, was the first 3-pointer made by a starter today. And look, before that make, we were shooting like 13%. It's gone up 4 percentage points with 1 make. Crazy. shooting 35% from the field. That is just horrible. And for Minnesota, well, I mean, they haven't really shot the ball too well either, but, you know, Karl Anderson has been good. They're shooting 40% from the field, 30% from three. It's literally nothing eye-catching. We have had like 15 extra shots, yet are still down 8. We just don't have the poise. Don't have the killer instinct. So the Nets are really going to have to dig in here. 4 minutes to play. The game is absolutely not over. Schroeder is full court pressing Anderson and nearly got the steal. Really adopting that low stance there. Anderson. Off-ball play by Bridges is good, but he's just allowed a dunk. He stayed with Anthony Edwards for basically the whole play. As I said, and as I've said numerous times, it counts for nothing if you can't actually complete the play. Bridges misses a 3. Clax misses the putback. Edwards now. Cross. Spin. That is just a tough move, and it's too good. It's too good, but like, I mean, what do you expect? You've scored 81 fucking points. You've scored 5 threes in the entire game. It is very simple when looking at the reason for us losing. That is another 3 missed. Another rebound. And the Nets are going to keep shooting threes. Thomas was fouled by Naz Reid. We've got 255 should I say, to score 12 points. And to be frank, we don't even look like scoring 12 in half a quarter. We haven't been able to score 12 in half a quarter all game. Like, what were we at three-quarter time? 66 points? We've scored 15 points in this quarter, and we have to go the full length and score 12 more in 3 minutes. I highly doubt that's going to happen. It's got to be some fluent play. So Schroeder on the outside, the corner for Bridges. He drives, shoots a fadeaway mid-range, gets the bounce. And he has not taken those at all. Since maybe the first quarter where he made his first 2 field goals. He really should have been taking more of those. Edwards, the drive, the cross. Oh, that's tough. 3 is off. Rebound by Claxton. You've got to move it now. 10-point game. Time is not on our side. Thomas, cross, lost the ball. Lost it again. Recovered by Finney-Smith. Schroeder. Drive. Lost the ball. It's out of play. And Towns does well there. But we are not playing like we're down 10 with 2 minutes to go. We were awfully relaxed there. 8 to shoot. Trying to use the full range of clock. I don't really know why. Should be playing with a little bit more urgency. We've got 8 to get into a set, and we've given it to Claxton, who's going to take Towns inside. Miss. Rebound for Towns. And he must have been hit in the gut or something. Because he is on his haunches right now. And it's a 5-on-4. Towns is aching. Blitz. Edwards into the paint. Euro. Reverse. Foul +1. That's it. Bro, it's just like, you knew this quarter was going to happen. And to be honest, Minnesota have not had a great offensive last quarter either. It's just defensively we have been trash. Just when you thought there wasn't an ability for this team to be worse offensively, it's happened. So the Nets trail by 12. Really hasn't felt like that. I would say it's been an honourable loss. Like, we haven't been shit. It's a miss, but guess what? We can't get the fucking rebound. And just like that, it's going to be a 15-point lead. Nope. Claxton with the board. 1:40 to play. What are we doing? We don't really look like we're trailing. Bridges, step back 3. Somehow knocks that down. I have no idea how he's hit that. So a 9-point lead. We've got 90 seconds. That is a point every 10 seconds. You've got to press. You've got to press. Gets by half court, and all they need to do is look after the ball. Naz Reid shoots a 3, and it's off. Bridges gets the board. You got to go. Move, 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 move. Thomas to the corner. Schroeder. Open 3. Off. That's it. Couldn't be any more wide open, and he's missed it. This is not a coaching problem at all, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, there have been far too many open three-pointers blown. You just score 5 or 6 more than you did, which really isn't hard to do. Let me just show you the box score right now. So Minnesota have actually shot the ball awfully from 3, and they have not shot it well from the field. But the reason they are in front, even with 20 less shots and, well, 8 less rebounds, is because we're shooting 17% from 3. Now, I want to do some quick math with you guys, right? Can you believe this coach just put Thomas back on the bench? No, he's on the court. He's been on the court for the last 5 minutes. This is the issue. Also, the free throws. When your threes aren't falling, drive it. It is criminal that we have taken this many threes when we need to attack or have needed to attack. Instead, we trail by 9, don't have the ball. It's going to be, well, fair to say we are fighting a losing battle here. This is yet again a repeat occurrence of what happened the last time we played them. The last time we played Minnesota, we held them to 96 points, could not score the ball. Minnesota, not that good on defense today. We've just missed a fuck ton of threes simply by being shit. I wish I could say it another way. But that is the reason we've lost today. For simply being shit on threes. It is that simple. Right, let me just do a quick observation. I'm going to do some quick calculations for you all. So, provided, let's say we doubled the amount of threes that we've made today. So 6, right? If we had made 12 of 34, which would have gotten us 104 points, we'd be up by 9 at this stage. That is 35% from 3. That isn't even league average. That's not even league average. That is below average, and still that would get us the win today. Why did Wilson see court action now? What a fucking waste of time. Seriously, those Dennis Smith Jr. minutes, especially in the first quarter, we were up 10 in the first quarter. We gave away 14 straight points simply because we had DSJ on the court. Completely killed our momentum. So 10-point lead. Edwards had 2 free throws at the line. He made the first. The second free throw is out. But guess what? Another offensive rebound, unable to be secured. That is the second time that's happened in 2 minutes. And that really sums it up right. 75% of the way there, not 100% of the way there. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Edwards cut, easy basket, no one accountable. And that's the game right there. Pretty simple. And look, we're probably going to hold Minnesota to under 100 points, potentially. Bridges another 3, and he misses another 3. So, there you go. That's really how this... Look, Minnesota needed to win this game. If they held us to 86 points and lost, it would have been pathetic. I cannot say that this team didn't try today. We've lost by 12. Or probably will end up losing by 12, provided they don't shoot it. They do. It's an open 3 and he hits. So we don't hold him under 100 points, of course. And Schroeder's in the shits. Bro, okay. No, I'm not buying this. This has happened a couple days ago as well, right? Dennis Schroeder is in the shits because Conley's taken a shot, right? When the game's clearly over. This is the issue I have. And I don't care if he's one of my players. I don't care if he's one of my players, one of anyone else's players. There is 22 seconds left on the clock. The game's not over yet. Your clock is gonna expire. Are you really getting butthurt because you didn't play defense? The clock is going to expire. The game's not over yet, mate. Why are you getting butthurt because the guy's playing the game? You may think I'm not a Nets supporter for saying this. I'm just a general supporter for this. I fucking hate this, where people go batshit crazy because a team scores in the final few seconds of a game. If you're not going to play defense and not respect your opposition with 20 seconds left, well then, that's your own fault. Why are you getting butthurt? So that's my take on that situation. Look, this one's going to be done very, very, very shortly. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Memphis. So, look, it is criminal that we've lost this one by 15 because I don't think we deserve to lose by 15. But what can I say? The offense is somehow incredibly trash. I don't know what Schroeder is getting at here. It's just, I mean, it's a frustration foul, but there is absolutely no reason for him to do that. There's just no reason for him to do that. Of course we have to fucking prolong the length of the game because of this bullshit. But yeah, this is the issue. If you're not going to... Well, first you have to score points, man. 86 points in a game, that is a rough watch. That is a really rough watch. And making 6 of your 35 threes is even rougher. Honestly, like, I've got no business being on a basketball court, but I think I could do a better job. I'm not even joking. So 22 seconds left. This one's done. 15 seconds or so left in the game. The Nets have... Well, the reason they've lost is simply because they couldn't shoot three-pointers. Looked after the ball, had a lot more possessions than the opposition, defended Anthony Edwards well for the most part. Yeah. Ultimately, it's just been a knock-on effect in this last quarter. We've scored 16 points or something like that. Like, it's never going to be sustainable. You're never going to win games if, you know... Yeah, you're never going to win games if you're shooting this badly from the field. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't say it any other way. We got 1 3-pointer out of our starters. Like, that is so poor. Or 2 3-pointers. It's so poor. And both of those threes came when it was too late. It needs to be a balanced output across the course of the game. It can't all happen in one quarter. But for it to be this bad while you're asking for a loss from minute 1, I can commend this team on the defensive side of the ball, but we look like the team that's playing the second night of a back-to-back. When in fact it was Minnesota who were actually the team that played last night. Voice crack. Bro, everyone just wants to go home. Make a fucking decision. The game's over. Oh my god, they're still deliberating about whether or not this is a technical ejection. Hurry up. Fucking hell, they're still going. Oh my god, I want to bleach my eyes because of this. Like, what is the point? Why are we still going? Oh, they're probably going to say something like, oh, it was a free throw as well. Because technically he's fouled him on the shot. On the shooting motion. Just end the game. Jesus Christ, this is actually pathetic. How they're taking this long for a possession. It's a 15-point game with 22 seconds left. It's just pathetic, bro. Gonna end that poll, by the way. If you are enjoying the stream, though, or you have enjoyed it and you're gonna head out now, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back in 48 hours for Nets Memphis. So make sure to tune in for that one. We'll be right here, same place, not the same time. But hopefully a different result, of course. But this felt like a game we could win, man. If we even put up a half-decent offensive showing, we would have won the game. But unfortunately, we're yet again talking about how this team cannot make a shot. And ultimately, you need to put your feelings aside. DSJ cannot play another minute. You've got to play Jalen Wilson. Play the youth. DSJ is like you're on a 1-year deal, right? So, surely you play your youth and get a few better results. I would honestly play Clowney in place of I don't know. But honestly, you would get better output offensively from those guys. We just didn't attack the basket enough. Um, I'm from India. I think it's bad luck. I think we're all going through the wars as net supporters. We're all going through it. So, um, look, if this is the therapy that you guys need, I'm more than happy to do these. That's why I do them partially because we're all suffering the same way, aren't we? Um, so look, what do you think the problem was for today? Look, I don't think it's rocket science. I think it's pretty easy to tell what the problem was. Um, Amazingly enough, we never actually worked anything out on the offensive side. Amazingly, they stopped the game for about 10 minutes and yet didn't they stopped the game for 10 minutes and didn't change anything about the decision. And bro, Jalen Wilson for some reason's on the court and you've got Cam Johnson, Bridges, Cam Thomas all there as well. What's the point of having Wilson on the court now? The game's over. We lose 86-101. We only scored 20 points in the last. That is, well, all 4 quarters we scored less than 25 points. Minnesota absolutely put the foot down in the last quarter. They scored 31 points, had a 63-point second half, and that's what I did say would happen. Actually, they scored 59, sorry. But we were awful. We actually had a worse second half than the first half, which is crazy to think. If I look at the box score, the shooting percentage is just absolutely abysmal, and it is absolutely criminal. With Rudy Gobert out of the team for the Nets, it's criminal that we did not attack the basket more than we did. Like, the amount of mid-ranges, this is us to the left, I think. Yeah, to the left. The amount of mid-ranges and three-pointers we took, and all those X's, is just baffling to me. And then you look at Minnesota's, they've got a very clear shot profile. Corner threes, and basically interior presence. And very few mid-ranges, but they were all off. So they knew what shots. They knew what shots they needed to take, the right shots to take. How many technical fouls? Jesus Christ. We had 16 offensive rebounds, and may I add, we also had 20 more shots. We had 5 more rebounds total, but 10 more offensive rebounds. Turnovers were pretty even, but ultimately we still had 1 less shot made than Minnesota, even though we had 20 more. They had 7 more free throws. They had six more threes made. And ultimately, that's why they won. Simply, were more efficient, had more free throws, and our 3-point percentage was just horrid. If I look at the if I also look at the fast break points, I mean, all these stats, the fast break points, the second chance points, they were mudded last game. We had more second chance points, but criminally enough, we only had 4 extra second chance points for 10 extra offensive boards. We gave away 25 fast break points to 6, and Minnesota averaged 12 fast break points per game this season. So they have identified a very easy to notice flaw with this Nets team, not being able to defend in transition, and it really correlates with the amount of misses we've had, contributes to a lot of long rebounds, all those 3-point misses, and obviously you can run to the basket easier because you have less ground to make up from one end to the other. Points off turnovers 10 apiece, but it really doesn't matter. We just didn't put them to the sword enough. And look, we had some advantages in some areas. I think the defense was definitely admirable to hold Minnesota to 101 with Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, I think is a credit to us. I think we gave away a lot of shots that you would be happy to give up. But that being said, man, if you score 86 points and hit 6 threes in an entire game, that is all a player problem. Sure, there were a few chuck-ups, but there was not... it wasn't all chuck-ups. It was... A lot of it was just complete inadequacy at making wide-open threes. And there's no real other way to describe it, really. So that's where we shot ourselves in the foot. I'm going to look at the chat. If you have any chat messages about the game, make sure to let me know. But we slump to 21 and 35. And look, we probably are going to fall to 12th because Toronto have picked up a couple of threes. The Nets think they're Curry, honestly. And they've probably got 1/50th of Curry's talent, to be honest. I'm with you, just end this shit. Well, unfortunately, I have to tell you that in 2 days' time, we're going to have to watch this team all over again, and you're going to be here to watch it with me. Please play Wilson and Watford more minutes these remaining games. Need to see how much they can really contribute. Nothing to lose, especially given decisions that are going to be made this summer. They just have to be. You just have to make some hard calls, to be honest. CT needs to be the point guard moving forward. Well, yes. But look, I don't think that is the issue today. I think Cam Thomas got a fair bit of run and a fair bit of ball usage. I think, though, it's just the three-pointers. You had to be good enough to make your wide-open threes. We didn't. And this came from starters. It came from the bench. The starters, man, don't even get me started about how bad the starters were from three. Like, look at this, man. 1 of 11, Mikal Bridges. 1 of 4, Finney-Smith. 0 of 5, Cam Thomas. That combines to a grand total of 2 of 20. That is 10%. Your starters, you mean to tell me, are shooting 10% from 3. That is just... I mean, if you expect to win it, you won't win a game of basketball. You won't win a game of basketball against preschoolers if you play that bad. So, if you're going to lose to preschoolers, best believe you're going to lose to Minnesota, who have won nearly... Well, that is their 40th win of the season. And look, I as I said, I can't really fault the effort. The work rate was there. Defensively, we knuckled down. We did the right things. But, simply put, just didn't have the... We just didn't have the poise. We didn't have the talent. We didn't have the skill. Really simple. Today really was missed threes and those DSJ minutes that didn't make sense this game. I think I can put it down to that as well. I really think if you dumb it down, definitely. Alrighty. We're going to wrap this one up here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as you may not have enjoyed the result. Make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back in a couple of days' time for Nets Grizzlies, and I think we have about 4 games next week. We'll be here for every single one of those. I think this is probably the last week that I can get to every single Nets game. And then it'll be a little bit more disjointed with the games I do and don't do. So make sure to tune in for all those games, because then they'll be a bit more few and far between at the back end of the season. But thank you for tuning in as always. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your chat messages. Hopefully, we're experiencing a win in a couple of days' time. But until then, thank you. Stay safe. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.